Subjugation request. I never imagined Iris's base construction would be like that. An operation of that scale must have created a tremendous amount of noise. It's possible that some adventurers who went deep into the Sea of Trees heard it. Apparently, the noisy construction work is over, so the commotion should die down soon. I sure hope it does. I had Iris investigate again, but there were no signs of a stampede. It seems this whole thing was a misunderstanding on the guild's part. Originally, I was planning to use drones to stop a stampede if one occurred, but it looks like I was worried for nothing. However, just in case, I've instructed Iris to strengthen her surveillance system so we can respond immediately if anything unusual happens. It's a strange situation, having to cull monsters when there's no stampede to worry about. Oh well, the bandit hunting has died down, so it's probably a good thing for the clan to have a new objective. Once they realize the monster population isn't growing even after we cull them, this request will likely be cancelled. After dinner, I gathered the party members and leaders in my office. I've heard rumors that something strange is happening deep in the Sea of Trees. The Adventurers Guild suspects it might be a sign of a stampede. A stampede? A stampede is clearly a terrifying phenomenon, as most of the leaders present were flustered. However, this isn't confirmed information. In fact, based on the information I've gathered, I believe the risk of a stampede is low. If Lord Alan says so, then there's no problem. Captain Darshern and the other leaders seem to trust me a little too much. Their panicked expressions were gone, replaced by a sense of relief. Nevertheless, the guild has made a request to the major clans. The purpose is to cull as many monsters as possible to prepare for a stampede. Each clan has been assigned a specific district to take responsibility for and call the monsters in. Our clan's assigned district is here. I marked a very large area on the map on the side of the Sea of Trees. Everyone leaned in to look. "That's quite a large area," a leader commented. "Because our clan has a large number of members and a lot of strong adventurers, we've been entrusted with a bigger area than the other clans." In that case, we need to put our hearts into it," another leader said. "Yeah, I suppose so. Once they find out the monster population isn't increasing after we call them, this request should be cancelled. Let's start hunting the monsters in this assigned area tomorrow." "Understood. So, will we be operating in Team A and Team B again?" "No, a 50-person unit would be inefficient against normal monsters, wouldn't it? I'm thinking of splitting the clan into 5 groups of 2 teams each. I plan to have myself, Sharon, Selena, Elna, and Claria lead each group." "Oh!" The leaders were surprised to hear that Claria would be leading a team. Claria nodded with a determined look on her face. She's already hunted a lot of monsters in the Sea of Trees. She might even have more experience than I do. Consider this a selection based on experience. "Lord Alan, if I may be so bold, how will you decide the group assignments?" I hadn't thought about that. Would you mind deciding?" "Captain Darsham probably wants to be on the same team as Claria. Well, maybe the other leaders do too." A fierce negotiation immediately began among the leaders. By the way, while our assigned district is large, there aren't many tough monsters. Most of them are greyhounds or small groups of orcs and goblins, all monsters that a 20-person party of C-rank adventurers or higher can easily handle. It was a good opportunity, so I decided to have Claria and Elna lead teams as well. I'm sure they'll gain something from it. Of course, I didn't intend to put them in unnecessary danger and planned to support them. I thought Elna might say something about being separated from Claria, but she didn't say anything. Maybe she just trusts her fellow royal guards, or maybe like me, she thinks this will be good for Claria. The group assignments were finally decided. As expected, Captain Darsham's Satellite Team 1 was included in Claria's group. "All right, let's depart tomorrow morning when the 7 o'clock bell rings. We'll be operating separately in the Sea of Trees, but we will leave as a whole clan and return as a whole clan. Let's make that our basic rule of operation." The meeting was over, but the 4 party members were asked by the leaders to talk about the Sea of Trees in the dining hall. I decided to excuse myself, feeling my presence would be better elsewhere. Well, tomorrow's an early start, so I should rest now. The next morning, we all left the home together. It was consequential to have 100 people moving together, but since this is the time most adventurers start their activities, it didn't cause a stir. The area near the Gaunt's Gate in particular was bustling with adventurers heading out of Gaunt's. I'm sure some of them were also going out for the same request as us. Since it's quite a distance to our assigned district, we all walked together. After about 2 hours, we finally reached our area. All right, let's split up into our teams. On the way back, I'll join up with Claria and Elna's teams and we'll return to Gaunt's together. We had already decided on the general direction of each team's advance and what kind of monsters they might encounter. Claria and Elna's teams were positioned between mine and Selena's, so I could tell if they veered off course and could rush to them if anything happened. Claria, Elna, Selena, and Sharon nodded with serious expressions and set off. All right, let's get going too, Walter. Yes, Lord Alan. My team's first team was Walter's. The other team was Kenny's team from the Margrave's army. After walking for about 20 minutes, we were noticed by 5 greyhounds. I used hand signals to convey the information to everyone. Immediately, 8 people who could use magic began to concentrate. We had almost a full minute before the wolves appeared, so everyone was ready. The greyhounds charged directly into the magic and were taken down one after another. The spells everyone used were, as expected, things like Windcutter and Fireball. It certainly makes the battle easier when you know they're coming, Walter said. Yeah, that's a big advantage, especially with greyhounds, since they're so fast. Next time, can we use our swords? It's a shame for those who can't use magic, Walter said as he collected magic stones and trophies. I don't see the need to use swords, but I am curious to see how they would take them down with swords. All right, let's do that then. My magic sensor had just picked up 10 greyhounds. After walking for about 10 minutes, the greyhounds noticed us at the perfect time. I conveyed the information with hand signals. Seeing the sign for 10, everyone's expressions became serious. Everyone drew their swords, including me. Everyone formed a circle around me with their backs to me. I was happy that they were trying to protect me, but it meant I couldn't swing my sword. Greyhounds came leaping out of the forest one after another. They hesitated for a moment when they saw our numbers, but decided to fight instead of running. They circled our formation. One of them, losing its patience, leaped at Walter. Walter swung his sword nonchalantly, cutting the greyhound's neck. It was a fatal blow. This triggered the other wolves to attack, but no one panicked, and everyone took them down with a single blow. The only one I took down was a greyhound trying to escape, which I shot with a light arrow. As expected of the men considered the elite of the army, they were easily a match for greyhounds. At this rate, I'm sure Claria and Elna's teams will be fine as well. During the hunt, I checked on Claria and Elna's teams with drone footage, and as I expected, they were doing just fine. By the way, I have 3 drones deployed today just in case. If things continue this way, I might not need them in the future. We continued hunting and culled 19 greyhounds, 5 orcs, and 12 goblins. As I expected, everyone's performance was stable and there were no problems. Around 2 in the afternoon, we joined up with Claria's team. It was time to head back to Gaunt's. Claria had a huge success with her magic and everyone was praising her. She was twitching the corners of her mouth, trying to hold back a smile. While we were taking a break after joining up, Sharon's team, which had joined Elna's team, also came and joined us. No one is injured? Right, good. Let's head back to Gaunt's for today. On the way, I also talked to Elna, Sharon, and Selena. They had no problems at all and even said they wished more monsters had appeared. Indeed, 20 people in one team might be too many. However, since there was no reason to rush the culling at the moment, and the disadvantages of reducing the team size outweighed the advantages, I had no intention of changing the system. After about 2 hours of walking, my magic sensor detected human presence. They weren't moving as a group of 10. Were they adventurers taking a break? I took the lead and approached carefully. They were indeed adventurers. Several dead greyhounds were lying around them. One person was on the ground, and the others were gathered around, looking at him. Was he injured? Noticing us, 2 of them nervously drew their swords. "Who are you?" "Hey, put your swords away." The one who said that was none other than Carl. "Hey, Carl." "Alan, those behind you are your friends?" That's right. Did someone get hurt? Yeah, they did. They were careless against a mere greyhound, damn it. I see. Mind if I take a look? I looked at the injured person. One of his arms had been gnawed on by a greyhound, and it was broken and covered in blood. If you'd like, I can heal it. What do you say? Heal? You mean you can use healing magic? Yeah, I can. What do you want to do? Please, I just want to stop the bleeding. Come to think of it, this is my first time treating such a major injury. First, the broken bone. All right, this is going to be a rough procedure, so brace yourself. Everyone, hold him down. The young man who was injured winced in pain and paled at the mention of a rough procedure. His friends immediately held him down. Nanom, tell me how much I need to cut. First, I have to cut open the arm so I can see the bone. After I connect the bone, I'll treat the muscle tissue of the arm. A red line was virtually displayed on the young man's arm. I have to cut a pretty large incision. I told myself, this is treatment, and boldly cut into the arm with the electromagnetic blade knife. The young man couldn't help but scream. I opened the wound to see the bone. The young man seemed to have fainted. I poured water on it to clean it and checked the bone. It was just a simple fracture. What a relief. I was worried the bone might have shattered into tiny pieces. I moved the arm to set the bone in the right position. Whoops, I have to take my time and cast heal here, or Elna will get mad at me again. I spent a good 30 seconds casting heal. Heal. All right, the bone should be connected now. Next, I'll continue healing the arm. I closed the opened wound and concentrate again to cast heal. Just in case, I also added a potion for disinfection and to suppress inflammation. The wound closed up visibly. As expected of the light spirits, they do good work. All right, it's done. Whoa, the wound is gone. Is that healing magic? Wow, as expected of Lord Alan. Alan, what is this magic? No, that doesn't matter. I'll make sure to repay you once we get back to town. That's what friends are for. Don't worry about it. I just hope it heals properly. Yeah, me too. Let's wake him up. Carl grabbed the patient by the front of his shirt and started slapping him back and forth. The young man woke up after about the third slap. Ow, Lear, stop. Hey, Ken, how's your arm? My arm? Oh, right, my arm. Huh? It moves. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. Everyone looked at me in surprise. I'd overdone it again. I was so focused on the magic that I didn't realize it. But to heal such a major injury so quickly, it is pretty amazing. But it was an emergency, so I guess it can't be helped. Oh, Carl, about this magic. Yeah, I get it. I won't say a word. Hey, you guys, what you saw here today, you don't talk about it anywhere else, you hear? Alan is my friend, and he's the leader of Shining Star who hunts bandits. If I hear even one of you mention this, you'll be killed right away. No, I'll beat you to a pulp before that. We understand. I wouldn't kill them just for talking, but whatever. It turned out that Carl's group was also on their way back to Gantz. Since we were going the same way, we decided to walk back together. When I talked to them, they told me they were also out culling monsters on a request from the guild. Come to think of it, Carl's clan, Swiftwind, was assigned the district next to ours. Carl was acting as a chaperone for a young D-rank party in his clan, and one of them was caught off guard and taken down by a greyhound. We returned to Gantz after about 2 hours. There were many adventurers who had been out culling monsters, and the entrance inspection was crowded. Hey, Carl, how long do you think it'll take to determine if a stampede will happen or not? At the shortest, a week. At the longest, a month. But from what I saw today, I don't think a stampede is likely to happen. How can you tell? I can. I experienced a stampede once when I was young. The warning signs weren't like this at all. It was more like a torrent of monsters pouring out. What I saw today was normal, or even a smaller number than usual. I see. In that case, I hope they cancel the request soon. Once we were finally allowed inside, we headed straight to the Adventurers Guild. Hey, Alan, want to grab a drink? What should I do? Everyone else is working, and I'm going drinking? That doesn't feel right. Lord Alan, I can take care of cashing in the magic stones and everything. Walter is a good guy who's considerate. All right, let's have a quick one then. Cool, thanks. Hey, Ken, you haven't thanked Alan yet, have you? Say thank you properly. Sorry. Alan, thank you so much for today. You really saved me. And, about the treatment fee. I'll talk to him about it later. You guys just cash in and head back to the inn. Yes, sir, we understand. I see. So he asked me to drink because of the treatment. We took our usual spot in the back of the tavern next to the Adventurers Guild, and Carl ordered some ale and snacks for us. It was his treat. Alan, you really helped me out today. Thanks. With that kind of injury, he might have lost the use of his arm. Like I said, that's what friends are for. Don't be so formal, Carl. No, what you did was way more than that. How much do I owe you for the treatment? You name it, Alan. In this situation, I can't exactly say I did it because it was a good opportunity to practice my healing magic. How about you owe me one? I won't ask for anything crazy, but if I'm ever in a pinch, you can help me out. An IOU. I'd feel better if I just paid you in money. But I guess you wouldn't ask for anything unreasonable. All right, you have one from me. Awesome. I'm in your debt. I don't know when I'll call it in, but I'll look forward to it. Just take it easy on me. Anyway, today's on me, so drink up. After that, we chatted about everyday things and rumors. But since we were tired from walking all day, and I was covered in a lot of blood from the treatment, we kept it to a light drink and called it a night. When I got back to the home and finished with the crowded bath, it was just in time for dinner. I was a little thirsty, so I asked the kitchen for a cold ale. As usual, Isla brought the mug over, hugging it to her chest. Aniki. She carefully handed it to me so as not to spill it. Thanks, Isla. She then toddled back to the kitchen. We offered cold ale for a fee, and perhaps because Isla was the one who usually delivered it, it had become a popular service. Ella was extremely busy during dinner time. While I was enjoying a light dinner and sipping my drink, Captain Darsham came up and spoke to me. Lord Alan, I heard a disturbing rumor at the Adventurers Guild. Apparently, a city called Sistana in the Sicilio Kingdom was attacked by a dragon. A dragon? The Sicilio Kingdom is our neighboring country, isn't it? How bad was the damage? Unfortunately, I couldn't find out. It might have been a rogue dragon. Iris. Yes, Captain. What's a rogue dragon? There is no clear definition, but it seems to be a dragon that has strayed from its flock. Based on the context of the conversations I've overheard in taverns, it seems they have a tendency to wander and are considered more dangerous than regular dragons. I see. And the damage to the city of Sistana? It wasn't much. It seems the dragon only appeared in the skies above the city, so there should have been no direct damage. Shall I search for more information? Please do. I'd hate to be suddenly attacked by a monster like that. I want to know its location at the very least. Understood. Does that concern you? Captain Darsham must have thought I was lost in thought because I was quiet. Yes. I guess rogue dragons are rare, right? Yes, they are. One appeared in the Starvik Kingdom only once when I was young. Luckily, there was no damage then, but... I see. So rogue dragons aren't necessarily dangerous. Is that so? I hope nothing happens. By the way, the results of today's hunt for the entire clan was 57 greyhounds, 20 orcs, and 35 goblins. The total amount of money we got from cashing in the magic stones was 36,350 guinea. It's a decent amount for a single day's work, but it'll probably decrease as the culling progresses. For now, all we can do is hope the request gets cancelled soon.